So the thermal imaging camera, see the darker brick over there? All this yellow brick is residential. People live in there. In front of the building used to be a place called Bashi's Restaurant. Things move around. The furniture will pile itself up. You can find figures, moving shadows in the windows. The thermal imaging cameras catch all of those things. We haven't caught anything really yet. However, when my daughter's on the tour, we did catch one picture with somewhat of a shadow in the top left window, middle, second window. So all kinds of things moving there. There's a story behind it. But no restaurant wants to go back in there because it's yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, so like the front of it up here.
I wanted to point down the creepy alleyway there.
It's cold down there. It's really cold.
You couldn't give me money to live in that.
Alright, so that thermal camera, the windows are going to be colder, so you should get blue on the windows.
Yeah.
So what we're looking for is anything that is darker blue for a cooler temperature. So that's where you want to move the eye to try to get that, see if you catch any figures. The blue is going to be blue, but it's going to be different shades. It says danger. I'm not kidding. Did it really?
The restaurants won't go in that building because their furniture would get moved around.
Yep. And it's basically just the second, third floor for storage. This is all the big wedding venues, so they probably hosted a lot of either wedding receptions, parties, things like that. And it's still relatively close to the beach, only 2 blocks away. Only to the beach, but it's close to one. So it's a big venue.
Perfect. Aren't you guys moving around?
Move around upstairs, looking people out.
Can I videotape down there with this?
That's residential.
Oh, you can't do that?
I've been in there, and then I was told like by Brian, my partner, he's just like, you know, you can't go in there. I'm like, why not? He's like, didn't you see the door that says private property? Get the hell out.
Oh.
Like it's posted right on the door.
Yeah.
That's out the walk-through. It's like a courtyard in the side.
I wonder if the inside is better than the outside.
Doubt. I've been through some of the properties now.
What the hell out of it? I'd be like, you want to come see some real scary shit?
Alright, let's keep on. He's like, I want to watch the camera now. I gotta get the full story on that. So I don't want to keep you guys held up for that.
Dan?
This is also my jam,
So, Charleston fun fact, where you will hear that this place is haunted, but I have yet to find evidence. See the building over there with the crosses on it?
Yeah.
The roof looks kind of funny. That's the Powder Magazine. Okay, it's the oldest building on record that we have here in Charleston. So it actually held all the gunpowder for 7 different wars. They didn't serve the wars whole. Like, it kind of came in and out, where the government said, let's go put it in Charleston at the end of the war, kind of thing. So it's been in and out of 7 different wars.
So
Crazy.
just leftover gunpowder, they said that's where we're going to store it?
To hide it.
Oh, to hide it.
So, because it's right there, most people would claim it's in the middle of the city, why wouldn't you have it near where your ships are going to be and all those kind of things. They did that because we actually had 4 walls when it was Charlestown. So they put it in the center to protect it. The walls of that place are 36 inches thick. Giant.
Wow.
Yeah. The roof is filled with sand from 1712.
The roof is?
Yes.
Wow.
So if anything exploded in there, it would contain the explosion. Super cool place, super cheap to go to. It's like $3 to $5 to just pop your head in and go read about all the wars it served. And they have old war uniforms in there. So if you're into that kind of thing and weaponry, it's all inside. Really cool place. I actually have a membership there, so I can keep going back and trying to capture stuff. They know me in there. So,
And it's the oldest building in Charleston?
on record.
Oh, on record.
My argument is that the Pink House on Chalmers Street is the oldest place. It was finished allegedly in 1712. This was finished in 1713.
Huh.
So,
What was it originally built to be?
powder magazine.
So that's what they intended it. When they started Charleston, they said,
Put this
Charlestown, we're going to start by putting a powder
Or
magazine
they
right
might
here.
have had the walls first.
Probably had the walls up first.
Well, okay.
And they put that in the center.
Exactly.
So that's kind of like the dead center of town.
Where
Of where Charlestown.
Well, okay, true, yeah.
So if you want to see the map of how that actually works, head over to the Provost Dungeon. Another super haunted place. You can actually get an EMF detector on your phone, and you can walk through there and catch all kinds of stuff. I love that place. It's super haunted. But they actually have a like a diorama of how the town used to be. Super cool, and you can actually see like where the powder magazine is. It'll show you like where King Street was. Those kind of things. Super rad to see. So,
Is Charleston where the jail is that's been on all those shows?
yep.
Okay. Are we going to touch on that?
No, it's in a really bad neighborhood.
Ah, gotcha.
I don't like going over there. I have been there. I don't want to take guests over there. I've been on the outside. I have not been on the inside because, again, they actually do a haunted ghost hunting tour.
Yeah.
They charge you for the equipment. They charge you $50 a ticket, then charge you for the equipment, and it's in one location, so I don't trust it. They could rig it up to where the EMF's going to go off in any place. So,
I'd still just be interested to go in it. You
but
haven't
I mean,
been curious to go in it?
I've been around it, and I've gotten enough activity and enough, like where my wife almost passed out because of the activity that was there. So that was enough evidence for me, and I have enough shit to say on the spirit boxes and heard things where we got enough evidence.
Wow.
What I got around there was a lot of names, which tells me all the prisoners
That
were
were
trying to tell
killed
me
there.
who they were there. And it was names that could be used as first or last names. Kennedy, James, John, Johnson, those kind of things. Like they were either or. So it's like I can go through the jail records. They're here, but it's like a needle in a haystack.
Right.
You know, with those kind of names.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I have the whole list. It's all mostly names, to be honest with you.
Huh. Interesting.
Damn it, they took our spot. It's okay.
Let's see if y'all are hot. You hot? Wow, you're 103.8. I hope that's not accurate.
So last night I actually got the word graveyard when we were here, which is super cool. So everybody kind of take notice of that that doorway and that wall back there. That's through the alley that we just passed, which was known as Dueller's Alley. So duels would happen there. And we're going to go back there because you do need to know that story because it's part of Charleston. But that door, fun fact, is where they would take the dead loser and take him straight to his grave and where those people are standing up there. So that's why that gateway is still there. That's the original wall. And there's I can't remember what year that was built. I want to say 1747.
So the duels were here on the grass?
No, they were in that alley behind the wall, which we're
okay.
going to go back to.
I got you.
But there was like so many stories up here, and I usually time it to where I'm not interrupting the other tours, but it looks like they're in my spot. But that's okay. You can actually see things better from here because we really can't go past the church. So you guys see where that gas light is up there, kind of flickering? Yeah. So that up there is where the Pirate House is. So keep in mind where that is. We're standing at St. Philip's Church, which is the big steeple you see normally in the pictures of Charleston. And then when you go one block away from the Pirate House, you have Dock Street Theater, one of the top 10 haunted locations in America. However, I get to catch evidence in there. I've been in there several times. They know me there too. I walk in with my EMF and they say, go do what you got to do. And you could take free tours there during the daytime. Super cool. So you can just walk in. Just go check it out. So, a couple stories that happened there. There was a young lady named Nettie Dickerson that worked here at the church. And this was, I need to backtrack. Dock Street Theater was changed twice. So first it was a theater called Dock Street Theater because this used to be Dock Street. And then they changed it into a hotel called Planters Hotel. They had prostitution there, there was a bar, it was a big deal. And then they turned it back into the theater we know now. And they just saved the name from Dock Street, even though the street name has changed. Okay? So, just so you have that in mind. During the time it was a hotel, Nettie Dickerson, who worked here at the church, was past the marrying age of 17. She was 23. She was no longer wanted. So she saw what was going on down at Planters Hotel and went down to go get a job. She put on her best red dress and became a prostitute. She was one of the most well-known prostitutes in there. However, she still wasn't happy. She didn't get what she wanted. So she used to sit on the second-story balcony outside and just kind of ponder back and look back at the church, wanting to come back. The priest saw this, went down to go talk to her one night, goes up to the second floor balcony. Storm rolls in as he's trying to convince her to come back to the church. Lightning strikes the wrought iron banister that she's laying on, kills her dead. It is said that you can see her ghost from the knees up only. Okay, the reason for that is because when we turned it back into the theater that we know now, we raised the first floor ceiling. She's walking on the original floor that she knows. So therefore, you can only see her from the knees up. So that's one ghost that actually haunts that place. So I bring up the Pirate House only because you can't. Honestly, I lived here for 2 years before I realized what the hell that place was. Until I started doing this, really, to be honest. There's a big anchor on the front of it. Somebody lives there. But it's where the pirates used to dock their ships on the wharf, and they would come and stay at night, have prostitutes, get a drink, blah blah blah. It is said that there was it's not said, it's a fact. There was a tunnel that led from the Pirate House over to Dock Street Theater, where the pirate dealings would go on. It is also rumored that Blackbeard's Treasure is there, which is bullshit. As you guys know, it's all in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna put that claim out there. I got the word enough. That's funny. Trying to think, what's the other? Oh, Junian Booth is also said to haunt the Dock Street Theater. Junian Booth was the father of John Wilkes Booth, who shot Lincoln in the theater. That's the irony, but Junian Booth did not die here, he's not buried here. He was a traveling actor. Very well known. Said to be seen here in fiery dress. Can't say I have any claims of that. When I investigated, I got a little bit of EMF, but I think it's because wood was transferred there from other places. Charleston recycles everything, so if something burns down, they take and salvage whatever they can, and they move it to another building. There was a big fire, Radcliffe Borough Mansion, which was kind of somewhat near where we started. We were in Ansonboro, but one more neighborhood up, there's a big fire. We had tons of fires. Don't even ask me what year, I have no idea. There's probably 20 of them. Anyway, they took some of that wood and they put it in Dock Street Theater. It's in the banister of the second floor, so when you guys go walk the balcony, it's 12 feet up. I can't reach it with an EMF detector to get it that close. The doors that go into the main floor for downstairs, that also came from that same mansion. But it's always roped off every time I go there, and they won't let me past it to get an EMF reading, to see if I can capture anything. So the other ghost story of what she's probably already telling is a legend that happened here. So in 1888, apparently a woman died after 10 days after her stillborn child. Okay. 1988, 100 years later, a photographer was here. This is why I think it's legend and lore. But I did see the picture. Legitimately, he actually put his camera lens through the wrought iron gate up there on the western side of the cemetery and captured an apparition of a woman in a shawl. And you can find it online with a baby basket sitting next to her. 1988. We didn't have all this crazy cell phone shit going. He sent it out to Kodak. Kodak could not debunk the picture. However, I don't show the picture on the tour because I am a superstitious person, and it says any woman that is holding the picture. So if I were to hand you my cell phone, starts to get that dizzy feeling, feeling ill. If a woman is pregnant and holding the picture, the pregnancy will not go well. I'm not cursing anybody. I'm not even going to attempt it. So I just kind of leave it alone. If you guys want to look it up, just look up the ghost of St.
How would I
Church.
Google that picture?
The ghost of St.
What was her name? I can find your name. I wrote about it.
Just ghost of
But the funny thing is,
Charleston and ghost
the
of
reason
Gary
why
or
all the
something.
ghost tour guides go up there is because there's a sign right behind the gate that says there's no ghost here but the Holy Ghost.
No.
And that's because of that story.
Gotcha.
What was her name?
I bet you could Google
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I
Philip's
can
Church.
Google it. Figured. I just didn't know if you knew an immediate
Ghost.
answer.
Baby.
I used to. It's honestly, it's kind of a tongue twister name. All right.
I'll Google it.
Yeah. So look that up.
I'm slightly curious what happened on October of 2000.
Daughter's birthday.
Oh, cool.
That's my oldest.
Okay.
So if that tells you, if I'm aging myself, I have two girls, 14 and 20. So I lost my abs. All right. So that's all the stories from here, guys. We're gonna go back around. We don't like sometimes we'll get spirit box stuff. I'm always curious, like that particular spot we were playing with the thermal camera, just because there is a cemetery right there. John C. Calhoun, when you guys are out touring tomorrow, is buried across the street. You can walk in during the daytime and go check that out. Super cool. If you guys want, I can also tell you guys what apps I'm using on my phone, so you guys can play with them as you're going around Charleston. A lot of people ask me at the end, like, "Hey, what apps were you using?" So at least you guys can check that out. All right, so let's head back down this way.
Catch any cool words?
I gotta get a new bag so I can carry something, like a drink.
kind of tired of holding this thing. You want to trade?
No. I'll do it. All right, I think I learned their hat.
Have you ever been there before?
Gorgeous picture at night and daytime. So if you guys want to capture just a keepsake souvenir picture, it's empty. It's a good time to do it. But this is what I was telling you guys about Dueling Alley. I usually tell people, I mean, the pictures I take down here are just gorgeous.
It said every.
Every?
Every.
Could be every time I take a picture. Here comes that photo. So let's move down a little bit because this is the other ghost tours. This is their grand finale. This is their big like. I tell you the story very quickly, just so that you guys can check out the rest of the alley. That, so you guys can see it closely. You can pretty much see it from everywhere around town. Yeah, you're probably we're gonna probably have another tour cut by, so we'll just make way for them again when they do. That girl that was over there. Oh, look at that! I got the word excitement. So this is quick history of this place. It used to be called Cow Alley because this is where they kept the livestock. That's how old it is. Then it was turned into Dueler's Alley for obvious reasons, and now it is Philadelphia Alley. The reason why it's Philadelphia Alley is because when dueling became illegal, we had to rename it after somebody that helped us. So it was Philadelphia. They bailed us out of a fire. Don't ask me again which one. It was one of the big ones. So the story down here is of Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. He moved down here, I want to say it was from New Jersey. And again, I kind of play this off because there's probably hundreds and thousands of duels that happen here, and everybody tells us one story on a ghost tour. So if you guys take another ghost tour, you're going to hear it again. So I'm going to sum it up for you real quick. The doctor moves down here because his fiance just inherited a bunch of money from her deceased parents. The lawyer's not happy about it. He says, go finish your practice and get it started, and then we'll talk about it, you marrying Amanda. Okay, so he moves to Charleston. The coach tells him, as he gets off the stagecoach, hey, this is a good place to go get a bite to eat, place to stay for the night, whatever. He set him up to be robbed and killed. A passerby, Ralph Isaacs, says, nope, it's not a good place to be. You're going to get robbed and killed over here. Takes him over to 59 Church Street. So 59 Church Street is 1.4 miles from where we're standing right here. Keep that in mind when I tell you the end of the story. So, the two became friends. Ralph Isaacs is just kind of a regular Charlestonian, no big whatever, but the doctor keeps growing in popularity. He's known as the Whistling Doctor. So if you Google the Whistling Doctor, this is the story you're going to read. There's more detail, of course. But they used to go and see plays, but sat in different places, so they have to talk about the plays on the way back home. They go see Richard III. Don't ask me which theater. I don't know that it was Dock Street. They're talking about Richard III, and one of the actresses there, it turns into, because the doctor liked her, but Ralph Isaacs did not, Ralph Isaacs starts insulting the doctor's fiance back home. So the two get pissed off at each other, and they go their separate ways. Ralph Isaacs writes in the city paper what a disgrace the doctor is to the city of Charleston. So to rebuttal that, the doctor says, we're going to duel this out. So they come down here to Dueler's Alley. They turn, they take them 20 paces, the doctor turns, puts his gun in the air, and shoots. Just wanted to prove a point. He wants to remain friends, he didn't want to hurt his friend. However, Ralph Isaacs pauses and then takes takes 2 shots below the knees. The doctor drops. He's not dead. His friends pick him up and they carry him the 1.4 miles over to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later. It is said, because he was known as the Wisdom Doctor, as you're walking through here, keep in mind we're 1 block away from East Bay Street. You all heard how busy that was. You can't hear it over here. Don't ask me why. It's every night. 1 block away, it's super busy. Over here, it is not. You can hear him whistling. It is also said you can hear the gunshots. I usually listen to the audio very closely for the tours at this exact moment as we're walking through. I haven't heard any whistling yet. I'm not going to lie to you. If you catch something, awesome. I haven't heard a gunshot either. Is that somebody's phone?
No, I think it's a cricket or something.
Okay. That's really odd. That's irrelevant or wacky. So, fun fact about this alley. Again, total bullshit. At the end of this alley, the bricks will get older. They were sun-dried bricks at the end. They're the original bricks that were from here, from the slaves that used to turn them. I will point out, it's just one of those fun, I don't even say fun fact, it's a fact by Charleston because it's in 3 different locations. There are fingerprints and a full handprint. I can point at it as we walk, but it's residential at the end. Somebody lives in that big giant house at the end, so we have to be somewhat quiet as we go by. I'll kind of point at it, the rest of you point behind me. That way everybody can see where the handprint is. If you want to stop and take a picture of it, by all means, but we gotta move quick and we'll make a left right out of the alley. So we're listening for whistles.
So what is the handprint?
The handprint is from the slave child that had to turn the brick. They're sun-dried, so he had to turn the bricks every 15 minutes, so that way they would dry. Craziness. And they're in 3 different places.
So I was kind of wondering, as you were saying that, like...
A lot of this is from like animals. These were put back in the 80s. These books are from the 80s. So as we move along, you'll see that they get older. The EMF is going to go nuts. Who knows that?
I got it right now again.
It's going to go nuts in the middle of the alley. That's the Footlight Players Club. That's the actor studio for Dock Street Theater. They have all their equipment in there, so it makes that thing go off. Don't get excited. Again, I don't want to make things up for you guys. Fair enough? Let me know what you catch. You should be taping slowly, like as you're kind of panning the alley as you're walking. And I'll turn this up a little bit to see if I capture anything. We actually had some activity in here one night. I usually get words like medicine. I had PhD come through one night. Like, it was like really cool stuff. So every once in a while the doctor wants to show him stuff. And I always get the word alley when I'm here too. So if I'm walking up to it, I usually give me the word alley. He's telling the exact same story I'm telling. Their big thing is that they want to scare you, so they go with a bang as a doctor shot his gun in the air. It's like, okay guys, really?
We know that that's not really the case. So what happens when the does start going out and route we do find that Ralph tries to retaliate several times once in the newspaper. He retaliates to him by spreading rumors about this. Very quickly established news outlets and rumors. However, that's a great picture.
That's kind of a cool picture.
Yeah.
This is usually where the EMF will go off. Catch some moving blue spots that shouldn't be there. Any moving blue spots? No? Nothing? Let's see the bricks are starting to get a little older.
Were these where they were originally laid, or these were put back as well?
Well, this is not in maybe the center, like in kind of like the arts district. So we got houses that go down the street, but a lot of the corners are going to be like art studios. This building right here, the brick one across the street from us, that's the Wagner building. That was one of the warehouses where we used to house cotton. In the front of it was the offices for the business, and then the back was the warehouse. Now the back of it is condos, and the front of it they're revamping into a wedding reception, 3-floor, 10-star restaurant type of place. It faces Pineapple Park. So if you guys have been downtown, you know where Pineapple Park is, you're 1 block away from it. Well, 2. So the Wagner building, the last person that had this had no idea what he was doing. He inherited it from his dad, got himself into a bunch of debt, and had to pay it all off very, very quickly. So instead of selling the cotton all over the United States and the colonies, he sold it to the British. So the British pulled their ships up where Pineapple Park is now, and they unload it from the back warehouse and set it out. Now, the guy who owned this place was already depressed. His dad left it to him. He's pissed off. He's depressed. The ships start to go out, and somebody got too close to the cotton with a pipe, and the whole ship went ablaze. So his father's legacy is now gone. So he stacks up all the furniture, and the tale says there's always a captain's chair at the top, swung a noose over the rafters and hung himself. The newsboy the next morning is the one that found him. So, it is said, I haven't caught it yet, it's find a swinging corpse in the 2nd-story window, as far as a shadow goes. We did get some cold spots there 2 nights ago, specifically in those windows that went way down in degrees, so we were able to use the infrared up to the 3rd floor to kind of gauge where things were at, and we caught some things on the camera. So let's kind of see what we capture while we're up there. But again, swinging corpse, it's usually with a full moon or some crazy mess that goes with the legend and lore. Yep, see? I'm probably wrong because I'm reading the legends and lore and really what's happening.
Is anybody named Zoe there?
No, Zoe's actually over at Poogan's porch. Zoe is the ghost there, so if you actually really great food there. So if you guys go somewhere for breakfast, head over to Poogan's. It's a great place. But there's a ghost there. Yeah.
We tried.
But yeah, there's 2 ghosts there, Zoe and of course the dog. The dog will pull, if you're wearing pants, it will pull at your pant leg. So, but you can find Zoe in the women's restroom. And everybody, that, like even the guests, like the staff there will talk about it. So I actually opened this up and put it in the middle of the table while I was eating. And they're like, oh, you're using a spirit box. I'm like, yeah, everyone to see what's going on. Like, they're hip to it. They didn't give a shit. So, it's a ghosty town. All right, so let's go check out the Wagner building. See what's going on. I need some yawns. Am I boring people?
No,
Are you guys just tired?
we're just old people.
I'm probably older than all of them.
We tire easily. It's our bedtime.
Yeah.
True.
My wife is probably already in bed. Since tourism picked back up, she's kind of down in the dumps. Right. So the EMF sometimes goes off here. I'm really interested to see if we can capture anything out of the front windows with your camera. Let's see what we can get there. And this is the closest to a circle I could have made the tour. We're about 4 or 5 blocks away from where we originally started. Just so you guys know. And I have to walk back that way too, so if you guys aren't going anywhere after this, I got the word case.
Taste?
Case.
Okay.
I should probably check my case. There'll be 3 wedding reception floors, and there'll be a restaurant inside of here as well to be able to cater to all the wedding receptions.
They can have like 3 different receptions at a time.
Maybe even a 4th for the rooftop.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They're gonna make some money.
Yep, lots of it. And again, especially if you go to this bar top, you get a great view of this place. That's where I went and I was taking my pictures trying to capture the swimming pools. I went to that rooftop. I was taking pictures trying to capture stuff. Your sister. It's actually going nuts over here. I'm waiting to see what's going to come through. How's your temperatures? Who's got the infrared? Yeah, you can shoot that infrared all the way up to the 3rd floor. I got the word joke. So this must be a big joke.
David.
80.
You just
Possible. Let's get a temperature gauge on your 2nd story window. 2nd story should be colder if we actually have
Yeah,
anything going on.
77. So we're from 80 to 77.
So the top should be colder because it's
Should be.
should be by nature laws because it's windier up there.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 degrees colder on the 2nd level than it is on 3rd.
Interesting. Anything on that camera? So one of these nights, I'm gonna actually just hold that thing up there for a good half an hour and just try to film. Maybe go across to the rooftop and try to film. I can't zoom in,
I was gonna
unfortunately.
say it's cars at this angle.
Yeah. But I did have, like I said, the temperature was a lot different 2 nights ago where we were trying to gauge it. It was one of, obviously this, I think it's my 3rd tour with this camera. I'm just excited about it. That's why I'm adding bocces to the story with the word mile. And we walked about a mile. Guys, I'm excited about Zoe. That was like weird and random. Let me flip through the word list real quick just to see what we're looking at. We did hear a few things on the regular. See, there's some of these words like we didn't see. Bird, limb. You got the words dinner when we were coming up to the restaurants. Monster. Some of these we missed. That monster must have been over in the Red Barn parking lot. Color. I remember that because I was getting ready to walk up and I think you had it initially. You are guilty. You're gonna have all this on the so I'll have to, like, that's from last night's story. I already recognize some of those. So what do you guys think? I know you're not convinced. I can see it on your face. So again, some tours are super exciting, guys. The word bankruptcy. The guy pretty much went bankrupt. We got the word fire here before too, which is super cool. But anyway, I'll leave this on for a second. You guys tell me your thoughts, comments. I know there wasn't like, oh my god, I can't believe we just said that, or we just found this evidence. But what do you guys think? Like, this is a normal thing. Some tours are more active than others. Can't guarantee what's going to happen. So did we capture ghosts? Did we have some hauntings here? What do you guys think?
I won't say definitively there's anything to convince me to change my mind.
But it was just interesting to hear, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely
and
It was neat.
to be a
like
part
when
of.
we were in the area with Eliza. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Eliza's usually the big
I heard
hitter.
her answer clear as day.
I heard her
Yeah,
answer clear
she
as
did.
day.
And I'm going to verify the 4 wives.
Wives.
I'm almost positive it's 4.
When she said, when you said how many were named Eliza, there was no doubt she said 2.
Right, and we'll be able to listen to that too.
She told me an answer for it.
Right?
You like the clock.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So
None of us heard it, but you know, it's all good.
this goes in separately. Let's stop the recording.